Nobody cares but me. You ready? Stupid. Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
Well. I had a little pity party the other day. Boo-hoo, woe is me. Yes, I did. If you're new to the show, welcome to This Is 50. This is my mental health show. I do this every Friday around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now it's 2:23. And I do this show strictly for me. So I hope the knowledge and stuff that I have and learned and over the last 7 days will help you, benefit you, or just get some entertainment out of the whole show in general. Like I said, I do this just for me. If I could spit that out, someone else would appreciate it. I had a little pity party the other day. My wife doesn't know about the pity party, but she knows that I was going through something hard. I was going through a hard time. And what happened was I'm not doing the entertainment show on Wednesdays right now, but that's all going to change. We'll dive into that here because guess what? Something came in the mail today. It's my retirement check. No, I was just kidding. So, and the horse show, we're on hiatus for a couple weeks because we do 12 weeks of seasons, and then we take a couple weeks off, and then 12 weeks of a season and a couple weeks off. So right now we're on hiatus. So this right now is the only show that I'm obligated to do. I say obligated. I do this for me. So yada, yada, that type stuff. So one of the things that my wife and I did this year was create a to-do list. We have a to-do list that we do every year, and, it always falls by the wayside. But this year we were like going, we're going to, we sold the house. We've got a little bit of money, set aside for some repairs and stuff on the house. What do we want to fix? What do we want to do? What do we want to fix? What are we tired of looking at? What do we want to update the house? Right now we're in the process of getting the bathroom redone. We were doing shiplap and ripping out tile and doing all the stuff. I got a hold of the tile guy, finally called me, and he's like, I can come over, I can look at the place, but I've got my kids on this weekend, and this weekend I'm like, oh, I got to deal with this situation too. Okay, fine, no problem. I'm not the only one in this world and on this planet. You can come over and do it when you have time to come over and do it. That type guy. He's not working for a company. He's working out of the back of his trailer, his mobile trailer. So this past Monday, not that I had absolutely nothing to do. I went for my run, saw some things in my run. We'll get into that here in a little bit. And my wife goes, what do you got planned for the day? I said, well, I'm going to look at the list and, see if I can knock out something real quick. Like one of those one-day tasks or like a day and a half type task. Now, the list that we made was her and I sitting here having, relaxing, having some drinks, just relaxing, enjoying each other's company, had some, soft music playing in the background. And like, would you like to see this done? Okay, yeah, let's do this and write this down, and made the whole list. She's like, okay, now after, I think we had like maybe 25 things on this list, ranging from hiring a contractor to knock it out in the weekend type deal. And she's like, okay, when are we going to do all this? I said, let's do this. What? She comes up to the studio. She hates coming up to the studio. She's like, I sit behind a desk all day long. And you want me to come up to your studio? I'm like, yes, you have to come to the studio. So she had a couple drinks, and so she was fine. Yeah, I'll go up to the studio, as long as we're not up there long. I said, no problem. So I took pictures of our list of stuff that we need to do. And you know what I did? I slammed that sucker right into ChatGPT. And I told ChatGPT, we kind of looked at the list and put dollar signs as far as, what it's going to cost. Like when you see a restaurant, oh, it's $2 signs. It, must be, affordable, or $1 sign. If it's $4 signs, oh my God, that's too expensive for me. Not for me, but I mean, for most of you commoners out there. So we did the same thing with our list. What's this going to cost? Like, for example, retiling the shower, blowing the shower out, moving it out, moving all this stuff and redoing all the tile and everything. That's going to be four stars or $4. Just to give you the idea of the threshold of what we're looking at. Replacing the 2 front windows that are kind of rotten out in the front of the house. Maybe 3 stars. Not as much as the tile job, but maybe a little bit more. Fixing the molding around the tack room in the barn. $1. It's simple. Knock that out in a weekend and you're good to go. So I've got the list, and I told ChatGPT, and I gave it, hey, look, this is what we're going to do between, January 1st to December 31st of this year. I said, we're going on vacation in the middle of March. We're going to Europe. And that's when we're going to have the bathroom done when we're not home. My dad will be here. He'll concentrate on getting the guy to show up to work type deal. And, these are, the time frames and everything. ChatGPT spit out a detailed list, time frame of everything. January, February, you're going to do these because it's cold outside. And these type items can be done in the house. Genius. All right. Not that it's genius. I mean, if I would have sat there long enough, I could have figured that out. But I was like, at least I've got someone telling me. I'm an easy person if you just tell me what I need to do. I'll stand in one place. If I don't need to do something, I'll find something. What do I need to? And if it's wrong, fucking tell me I'm wrong. Do whatever. But if someone says you need to do A, B, and C, I'm like, all right, to get this job done, I'll do A, B, and C. Done. That's how my brain operates. So then it goes, and then, March comes around, you're going to get your bathroom done. And then when you come back, you can do this project. And then this is what it said. And then April and May, we'll consider these the contractor months. You're going to be spending a lot of money during this time, but it's going to be warmer out. It's going to be nicer out. You can get the landscaping of the front entrance of the property redone. You can do this, contractors to hire to do that, and so on and so on. So the whole breakdown, he gave it to me, and I printed it out and gave it to my wife. I go, is this doable? She's like, oh, yeah. I like that little ChatGPT. I said, I know. That's my friend. I don't know if it's a he or she. I'm going to call it a she. Just because if it's a he, it'd be kind of weird because I don't want to do bro stuff with it. But if it's a she, I'm like going, look, I'm married. ChatGPT, I'm married. Hands off. I'm sorry. You can tell me, you can help me. I can be friends with you. So this past Monday, I'm looking at the list after my wife said, what are you going to do today? I said, I don't know. I'll knock out something on the list. So I'm standing there looking at the list, and I came across one item that I could do like that day, maybe one more day. I could say, well, I can do this and fix that. And then I dove into it, and I didn't do well. I did not do well because it caused me a little pity party. Now my wife works late and stuff. So the pity party came and gone. I was good. She came home. She's like, how was your day? Everything's fine. So, I'll dive into that a little bit later on in the show. That's your tease. Something came in the mail. It's going to make my life, hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't know if it's going to make it worse or better. I don't know. But it came in the mail, and I've got it sitting behind me. If you're watching this here on the YouTube video, jump on over to This Is 50. It's not at This Is 50 anymore. I guess YouTube got smart and figured out that I had more friends, more subscribers than the other guy. So now I pop up when you type in This Is 50 show. So you can check us out over on YouTube. And you're going to see what I got here. It's sitting behind me, right over my shoulder. Look at that. You can barely see it right there. Oh, little peek. All right. I'll dive into that too when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. So as you know, today is Friday, and Friday is the day that I go and get the food shopping done over at Walmart. Drive into town, grab my groceries. I walk the store, pick up all the groceries and everything, and then my dad orders his, so I just drive around to the backside of the Walmart and just say, Holmes, they scan my little barcode and throw it in the back of my car, and I'm off about my day. And you guys know, for the longest time, it's just been slow. Everyone's soft shoeing it. The kids, and I say they're kids because that's what they hire out there. They're just like walking around. They're jibber jabbing across each other as they're trying, and they're in no hurry at all. None. Zip. Put pushing the cart with their foot and, then walking up to it and then pushing the cart again with their foot and walking up to it and then pushing the cart again. And then when it's got to go up the hill into the door, they kind of put their hand on it and then push the cart again. And, then they, hey, Tyrese, hey, Jamaica, whatever. And they just don't fucking care. No sense of effort, no nothing. And you can tell how busy it's going to be and how long your wait's going to be by how many cars, of course, are sitting in the parking lot. A speedy day, there might be 7 cars in the parking lot. An average day, 15 cars. When it's packed around Thanksgiving, there was like 40 cars there. So you got to give them a little bit, good with the bad. Today, about 15 cars were sitting in the parking lot. So I'm like, all right, I'm expecting a 25-minute wait. So I'm sitting there, going through the news feeds and going through TikTok and going through Facebook and responding to everyone's that comments on all the posts and everything like that and trying to be a good, social media provider and doing all the stuff. And I see in my rearview mirror, I can see this girl, long hair, almost down to her butt. She's not Spanish. This is going to sound really bad. She's not brown. She could be Indian. You know what I mean? You could just tell, like, they have a different complexion than a Spanish person would. She might be Spanish. I don't know. She might be from Venezuela. Came on over. Viva la Trump. And she had really, really long hair. And it was in a ponytail. And when I say a ponytail, kind of like where the ponytail connects to the back of the neck and then it goes straight down. It's just all over the place. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't really paying attention for the first 10 minutes I was there. But every time I turned around and you heard the little carts rolling by you and you're like going, that little Indian girl, she's coming by again. She's knocking them out. This girl, they must have fired, because she's the only one I saw. I saw a couple people up by the building itself. I had to park away from the building. They must have fired the whole entire crew. Said, look, because every time I'm there, I always give them 1 star. 1 star took too long. 1 star took too long. 1 star took too long. Maybe it got it through to them. Look, manager comes in. All you fuckers, gone. Beat it. You don't want to show up for work? You call in late? You're gone. You got a time frame on? I don't know if they have time frames on getting the orders out. You don't miss your deadline for time frames. Kind of like when you go through the drive-through at like McDonald's or something. They got like a ticker, on the thing as far as how long it takes for you to get the order. Maybe they do the same thing at Walmart. I don't know, but if they don't, that would be a great idea. If you miss your time punches and clocking in and getting these orders out, you're gone. I think someone went in there and cleaned house. I think someone went in there and said, You on the phone, looking down at your phone, you not even paying attention, all 5 of you, front row, gone. Beat it. If they had like a morning shift meeting. See ya on the other side, right? And they hired some new people because I'm seeing a different, how do I put this politely, breed of people now after the holidays that are coming out and doing the work. There's a short, little, fat, pudgy white guy. There's you could tell one of those girls with the green hair. You're like, all right, well, they can get some other people in here that want to work, I guess. I don't know how it works. But this Indian girl, she was knocking out. She must have knocked out 5 cars while I was there. She was bing, bing, bing. And then I was one of them. And I caught drift of what she was doing. Maybe they have a bonus structure now. If you knock out this many cars, in so many hours, we expect you to do, let's say, 5 cars every 30 minutes. So that'd be 10 cars an hour, right? If you get 15 cars in an hour, we'll give you 50 cents for every car that you do over 10. That adds up. That fucking adds up. At the end of the week, end of the day, you might have an extra $15 in your paycheck every day. Times however many days you work, right? It's like working overtime or double time or something like that. But you can't tax it. Get away with that. So she comes up to me. She's like, can I see your barcode? Because they have the new barcode now. They got to scan on your phone. I'm like, yep, sure, here it is. And she's like, I can't see it. And I go, can you scan it? No, just read it to me. And I go, it's 7625. She types it in. Your last name? I said, Holmes. She's like, all right. And then this is what she said. I'm outside of the car because I'm capable. I get out, open the back of the Hyundai. Jesus Christ. Open the back of the Audi, not the Hyundai. Still an Audi. Still a Hyundai. No, it's not. It's an Audi. Open the back of the Audi. And she goes, do you need my help putting these in your car? I said, no, I can do it. She's like, okay, just holler if you need me. Boom. She takes off. She's back inside. So I'm a fully capable 53-year-old man now. 52, I was not capable. No, 53. And I start putting my dad's tea in there, and I'm grabbing all the stuff and, stacking all the bins and stuff because they put like 3 things in one bin. All the ice cream and whatever's in one bin, all the dry goods in another bin, and delis in one bin, and so on and so forth. So I got always 4 bins. When I'm done, I kind of rolled it in between the 2 cars, my car and the lady next to me parked next to me. That's what happens. Got in the car, backed out, took off. She's already out with another fucking order, throwing it in another car or dropping it off. And I was like going, this girl's got it. She's on it. She's on point. Good for her. If she's there next week, I'm going to say something to her manager. Or say something that nothing at all to her manager, depending on if she's there or not. I know. I made blueberry muffins the other day. I've been on this blueberry kick. I'm telling you, man, blueberries are in. They're the new superfood again. Generational. It comes around every 5 years. Blueberries come around. And they taste so much better than eating that turmeric and pepper and whatever else they're trying to shove down your throat. I'm like, now, granted, some of the blueberry stuff that they put it in is not good for you. Like the muffins I was trying to make. Well, not the ones I was trying to make. Just regular blueberry muffins. Side note, my wife and I went out for coffee to go meet her horse trainer at a coffee house. And they have like little pastries. I'm like, give me anything blueberry. Of course, you get it. And it's got like all the sugar crystals and stuff on top. I'm like going, this is not good, but it tastes so good. So I'm sitting there and I'm going through TikTok. And I'm like, there's got to be a way with all these videos and stuff of people going, instead of using sour cream, use Greek yogurt. All right, I can do that. I've done it. Works great on like a baked potato or something like that. I'm trying to cut calories. I'm trying to slim down a little bit more. I got another 45, maybe. When do I go? March 10th, I'm leaving. So doing math on that. Under 30 days, 50 days? No, 30 days would be, God almighty, 60 days. I'm trying to get down because I'm getting on that commercial flight going from, Charlotte, North Carolina, where we're located at, all the way over to Amsterdam or wherever we're landing. I don't know. But I'm trying to slim down to fit in those seats. Not that I'm a big fat fuck, but I notice my clothes fit better. So if I get even thinner, I'm going to fit better in the pilot seat or the airplane seat. I'm not driving a plane. So I'm trying to eat better and I'm trying to eat, I'm doing my run and everything. So I was like, I want a blueberry muffin. So I'm looking through TikTok, how to make blueberry muffins out of like whatever good stuff that you have at the house. I've done the banana pancakes where you take a banana, smash it up, put an egg in there, mix it up and make a pancake with it. It takes some work and some skill to get that thing to flip over, but it works. It tastes good. It tastes fine. So I'm like, why can't I do that with a blueberry muffin or make a blueberry muffin? So I came across this recipe. You ready for this? Cottage cheese, banana, an egg, and then right before you put it in the wherever you're putting in the tins and stuff, you put blueberries on top of it before you put it in the oven or air fryer or wherever you put it at. Toaster oven is where I put it. Cook it for how long? I don't know, 25 minutes. 25 minutes? That sounds like a long time. It is cottage cheese and a banana and an egg, so who's to say? So I put it in there. Ding! Pull it out. It's still fucking like gelatinous. I'm like, oh, man. Put it in again. And your mom's old muffin tins, right? There's like 3 across and 4 down. I'm filling those up. So they're only like maybe an inch if you're watching us here on the YouTube channel. They're only like about this deep in the dish. I'm thinking it's like going to rise up a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I must have cooked that thing for a fucking hour and a half. What'd you cook it at? 375 or something. I even bumped it up a little bit. I was like, God damn, these things aren't fucking cooking. So I'm like, and they're still gelatinous. By this time, it's 7:30 at night. I'm done. My wife's coming home. I've had my pity party. This is after the pity party. And I said, I'm just going to put everything in a fucking bowl. I'm literally like scooping it out with a spatula, like a little rubber spatula. I'm scooping it out and putting it in a little ramekin, put a lid on. I'm going to sit it in the refrigerator. I'm going to deal with this tomorrow, the next day. Next day comes and goes. And I put them in the air fryer. And I've got these little tins for air fryer. Cooked them for another 30 minutes. Garbage. So if you've got a recipe that uses cottage cheese, an egg, and a banana with little blueberries on top, let me know. You can hit me up. You can find us over on Facebook at This Is 50 on Facebook. When we come back, do I want to open this thing now and show you guys? Maybe I will. We'll see when we come back, because it's going to be a lot. So stick around. I'll be right back. So if you've been following the show for any length of time, we've had a couple people on the show. We've had the guy I started the show with. He's doing good. As far as I know, he's doing good. You know, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hey, it's my birthday. Oh my God, it's your birthday. He's doing good. He just couldn't find the time to hang out with the show, and you got to listen to those shows to figure out, you know, I won't get into his business anymore. Then there was another gentleman who stepped up, kind of met him, like third party met him. Said, hey, you know, while Shane's out, you know, I'll fill in for him until he can, you know, get everything right at home. I said, okay. And his name was Matt Cochran. He was on 4 shows, and right away I was like going, I don't think you're getting it, man. I like the guy. I really do. I've had conversations with him and so I really like the guy. But it just didn't work. Not that we were bumping heads or arguing or anything. I was like, it's not where I want to take the show. So I'm going to have to cancel this. He's doing really well, by the way. He's doing he's always been doing, he's got an excellent voice for radio. I think he's got he's got his goal. I think he's found his niche of what he wants to do. And when I met him, he was doing something called Murder and Coffee, which was kind of like grab a cup of coffee and sit back and relax and listen to Murder and Coffee as we go through the diabolical of, whatever the episode was. And he was really, really good at it. He's got a really, really good crime story voice. So he's revamped and relabeled and rebranded himself. And he's doing, I called him on Facebook and he's like, hey, this is my new project I'm working on. Tell me how you like it. And it's called the Dark Room Investigations. And it's the same thing. It's all video. And there's a lot of production value in it. He's got a lot of clips of whatever the story that he's talking about. And he's got, him in there and, he pops in, he pops out. The stories, the videos are about, anywhere from 15 to 20 to 25 minutes long, depending on how in-depth the story is. He's doing really good. So check him out over there. If you wonder where Matt Cochran went, you can find him over on YouTube at the Dark Room Investigations. So check him out and give him a little thumbs up and tell him that Trav sent you over there. I got let's see. Do I want to do it now? Am I going to blow the whole load right now? No. I'll get to the pity party here in just one sec. Let's do it. If you listen to last week's show, I told you the reason why I've been holding off on doing the entertainment shows because I've got this time right now. Like I said, I'm on hiatus from the horse show that I do on Monday. I do an entertainment show on Wednesday, and then I do this show, this mental health show on Friday, and then I do what do I call it? I always call a satire show. Sorry, words are escaping me right now because I'm trying to in my brain line everything up. And that I've been working on, but my computer just kind of went, that's a lot of work for me. So if you're looking right now on the YouTube channel, as I back away a little bit, there it is. There it is. Oh, we switched camera back. Hold on. Charlie. Stick it back. There you go. You're like, well, that's just a box. I know it's a box. It's my new server tower. You can't even call it a PC. It does so much more than just PC work. It's a server tower. It actually holds a lot of this stuff. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if I want to open it yet. Because everything I have done for this show has been going on for 4 years. The horse show that I do on Monday has been going on for 4 years. The entertainment show is coming up on 12 years of me doing that show. Then the satire show has well over 550 episodes that have been published, but now I'm adding video to it, so I have to go back in and revamp everything. I've got everything, every sound, every music, every clip, the opening of this show, the opening of every show on there, every commercial, every ounce of stuff that you're listening to us on your podcatchers. If you're watching this here on YouTube, everything that you see and hear is being held on this little granddaddy down here. And it's time for it to retire. What I'm worried about is, let's say the computer is 100% full. I've got pictures on there, just family pictures, around the house and stuff. I don't have I've got a whole lot of documents, not like financial documents. I do have some financial, but they're tax return type stuff. But I've got copies of them, physical paper copies of them somewhere. I've got so much information on this tower. I looked at the date, 2011. So, Christ, it's 15 years now. I've been pulling from this, and I've upgraded. I've added RAM. I've added a new Ethernet card. I've done all the stuff. I've upgraded and upgraded and upgraded. It just won't hold anymore. My problem is I got this one just the way I want it. But for me to go any further in this, and if I want to achieve the next level, I've got to move on and get something a little faster, a little bit better. And that's where this new PC comes in. That's what I was talking about last week. So it's here. But I'm so nervous and scared of moving things over. I've moved things over from one computer to another, like within a 3-year time span. The one that I have, it's, not big enough. We need to buy a bigger one or move this over. And when things get moved over, things get lost. When I say lost, it's not on the front. It's not, the front of the mine there. It gets pushed down in files and files and files. And you're like going, I'm going through stuff looking for things. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot this was here. And I was going through some stuff and looking, oh my God, I forgot this. Oh, do I need this anymore? I don't need this anymore. Well, I definitely don't need this one anymore. That type of stuff. But I'm so scared. I've got to bring all the elements over, all the sound, all the stuff that makes these shows entertaining. I'm hoping they're entertaining for you. They're going to be more entertaining because I'm going to be able to do a lot more now. So I'm going to take a quick little break. I'm going to open this thing up during the break, and you can see during the YouTube video, you can see all the stuff that happens during the break. So I'll open it up, and then I'll kind of come back and show the people that are listening to us on the podcatchers and stuff. So stick around. I'll be right back. All right. Take my headphones off. Turn this one this way. Ah! Why are you reading this? Unbox your PC already. Oh. Okay. That's my transition. So out of breath. It took a lot by yourself to get that stupid tower out of that thing. I spent a lot of money on this thing here. So hopefully it does everyone justice. Does me justice, does the audience. I say my audience. You're my audience, so hopefully it'll do you guys justice as well. And I'm sure you guys will let me know right away. I had to move this camera so I could show this stuff. The funny thing is, once I opened the flap, I had like this one little anime girl goes, "What are you doing already? Open your, unbox your PC. Don't read this." Yeah, thank you. This is the keyboard. If you're looking at the keyboard. And it lights up. It's got all the RGB stuff. And welcome to unboxing. On the radio. It's so much fun when you're listening to unboxing. I won't keep you too long on that. All right. And then it says important, just to let you know, important. Save your original package. And I bought it. It's the company's called iBuyPower. And my wife goes, it's a generic company. I said, oh, no. iBuyPower, I've looked them up. And the only reason why I bought this, I know I'm making noises over here. The only reason why I bought this is one, ChatGPT told me, buy this computer. It is more compatible with me. I can rule your life. Yes, ChatGPT, yes. Tell me what to do next. But no, I looked at, it said, choose between this one and this one. And one was like Adele. Not Adele the singer, Adele. And I looked at the reviews, and the Dell that it was telling me to look at had like 2,500 written reviews, 4.6 or 4.4 stars or whatever it was. This one here, based on what I want it to do, and the main thing was it's got a higher video processor. That's basically the only big reason. That's what's slowing me down right now. I'm looking at my PC right now, my CPU. It's sitting around 24% operating, which is way high for what I'm doing. But this computer itself had, I think, 6,500, 4.4, 4.7 reviews on it. And I said, well, it's a couple $100 more. Fine. What's a couple $100 more based on a couple thousand of, 5-star reviews? Let's put it that way. So I bought it. So iBuyPower is the name of the company that I bought it from. From my understanding, it's pretty good. So there you have it. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, I got a new black friend. What happened to the old one? Yeah, No, I got this young lady. I know I'll get into the other stuff here in a minute, but I just thought this was funny today. So I'm walking around Walmart. And I'm a creature of habit. Go in the door. I know exactly where I want to go. I'll go this way. Go down this aisle. I'm done looking at this. I take a left. And same pattern. Pac-Man style. Same pattern every time. So I'm walking down the main back aisle. Past electronics. Past the dog food and stuff. On my right-hand side is baby clothes. Baby stuff. And I hear, "Hey, man." I mean, clear as day. Like it was like if she was right in my ear. "Hey, man." Like I was in trouble. I stopped and I looked, and it's my friend from the produce department. The one that I said to her boss, I said, this girl's, she's on point. She, taught me about dragon fruit and all this other stuff. So now we're friends because she goes, I go, "What are you doing over here? They move you over here?" And she's like going, I have no idea what her name is. She's like, "No, I'm hiding." I'm like, "Oh man, don't tell me that." I'm thinking to myself, I had such, I had a good view and opinion of you. Don't tell me you're hiding from the boss. I said, "What are you doing?" She's like, I'm looking for clothes for my nephew. I'm on my lunch break, or I'm on my 15-minute break. I said, "Okay, all right, all right." I take everything back. And she was telling me, she went on to tell me, she's got a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I said, these are all clearance clothes for toddlers and stuff. She's like, yeah, they're all $1 each. And she's trying to get pants. I said, get what you can get, girl. I'd do the same thing if they had them all in my size. Pants for $1? Sure. And I know baby clothes are expensive and for $1, how long are they going to last? How long are they going to last? Maybe a couple months before the kid outgrows them? That type deal. So you don't mind paying for $1? I said, go for it, girl. And I said, by the way, I didn't see you. She goes, you didn't see nothing. I said, nope. I don't even know who you are. She goes, you keep walking. Don't say nothing. She's like, have a nice day. I said, you too. So I got a new black friend. She recognizes me. Sometimes when I walk in around places, I don't know if people recognize me. Not Mr. Popularity type deal, but I think my face, your face, I think that sometimes in my mind, when I was younger growing up, and this is kind of where I had my pity party. When I was younger growing up, everyone kind of knew, I don't want to say knew what I look like. Of course, everyone knows what I look like. But it's like now, I think I blend in. For example, if a white guy came in and robbed Walmart, 53-year-old man came in and they put us in a lineup, they wouldn't be able to pick anyone out unless he had like long hair or something, extravagant. No, I got short hair, shaved on the sides. I've got my 1990s goatee. This new shirt my wife got me. It's Eddie Bauer with a button up on it. I blend right in. I blend right into the community around me. Now, when I say younger growing up, I had mohawks, I had combat boots, I had all the punk rock stuff. I had, the loud shirts, no piercings or anything. I didn't get into piercings until I started DJing in nightclubs. I was loud, obnoxious, not like I am now. Now I'm calm and subdued. But I just think that it's weird that someone goes, oh, hey, what's going on? Like they recognize me again. I'm like, oh, you remember me? And you feel kind of flattered. Oh, you remembered me? So I that's the way I kind of look at myself now. I just kind of blend in. So when someone says, oh, I remember you, I just like, oh, wow, it's kind of flattering that you remembered me. My wife went to a clinic. I accompanied her to the clinic. This clinic it's a different clinic. When I say clinic, my wife rides horses. She rides dressage. She rides in, competitions and stuff. She does pretty well on it. The last one, well, I don't know. He would have thought she came in last place. I think she did, actually. Just had a rough time this last competition go around. So she's kind of like I'm trying to do, revamp myself, redo everything. And so she signed up for this clinic with a couple people that we knew collectively that were going to join this clinic. And it was called a cow wrangling, I guess. What are they called? The cut horses? Where the horses literally will cut into the dirt, I guess. I don't know. I'm making shit up. I could be 100% right or 100% wrong. Where they cut in the dirt to kind of move the herd of cows. And if one gets away, you ever seen City Slickers? Hello. And what's his name? The main guy. Was it Woody? No. Slick? Slim? I don't know. He'd run over there and get the baby calf and herd it back around and bring it back to mama and type stuff. Now, they didn't do anything to that extreme at this clinic. This was a small riding arena and about half the size of a football field. I don't know. I could be exaggerating. I don't even know what a football field is. And they bring the cows in and they're all fenced in and stuff in this arena. And they go, okay, there's 6 cows and my wife would take the horse and, move the cow this way and move the cow that way. But what you have to do, it's not you physically moving the horse to move the cow. The horse has to kind of take control and say, hey, this is your job today. You are not to let this cow get away from the herd. And in this case, the herd is only like 7 cows. So the horse who's not used to being around these animals is trying to figure it out in its head, how to make this animal do what my wife wants it to do. It was a 3-hour class. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Our horse, Diego, was the star because everyone else is riding Western style and my wife rides English. It's based on the saddle and the style of riding that you do. So Diego did really well. My wife had a great time. She's like, yeah, it's fun, but I'm doing it for the horse to kind of unprogram his brain to reprogram it again to, do stuff. We had a good time, and, the guy who had the clinic, everything was great, and they brought, lunch and everything. We had a good time. Here's something that I don't understand, and I'm trying my hardest with the list of stuff that we have to do this year, how to fix stuff. We've replaced, I think, maybe 120 feet of fencing. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be 220 feet of fencing. It's almost the whole right side of the pasture. And the fencing is not painted. It needs to be painted. It needs to be painted black. Everything else is black. That needs to be painted black. So it's kind of like weathered out there right now. But I keep everything. If a board breaks, go out there and fix it. If something falls over, I go out there and fix it. I'm right on top of stuff. Because every time we go to someone's house, a lot of people are going to be mad at me that listen to the show. Every time we go to someone's house and they're like going, yeah, we have horses on our property. Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky you have horses on your property. Then you go to those people's houses and the house is either like needs to be washed. There's no grass. There's no maintenance. There's no, but in my opinion, some of the properties that we've gone to, like places where, hey, I have a house and I have a arena and I have this place. It all looks like shit. Always. And when I say looks like shit, wherever they finished a job, if they were working on something and they got leftover parts, that's where they sit. Done. Are you going to put that away? You're going to throw that away? You're going to take that somewhere? Nope. If I need it again, it's right there. Every house, every place that we've ever been to has always looked like shit or disheveled or unkept. Now, hold on. I got to regain my thought here. Hold on. Someone's here to service something. So hold on. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. The generator that my dad bought us a few years ago, last year, because it's the first service. The service technician showed up today, so I was like, my wife's texting me in the middle of that last segment. So if I sound a little stutter step, it's because I'm talking to my wife at the same time. And does he need me out there? Do I need to do anything? So I was like, hold on, I'll just go out there and just talk to him. So where did I leave off? Oh, about horse people's houses looking like shit. That's where I left off. No, but I mean, for real, they spend a lot of time, and I know this. Horses cost a lot of money. They do. And I think for the most part, a lot of people, when they get horses, they're like, oh, we can just fence in the horse and build a barn. And then they go, okay, now we have to feed the horse, and now we have to do this, and now we have to, the doctor's bills and the vet bills. Believe me, the horse show that I do every Monday, we talk about these things all the time, and the scenarios and stuff that the other guy on the show, he's a professional farrier, and he's a world-renowned farrier, and he tells me about these places and stuff that he goes to where it's like, well, this and that, and it's just, some of them are horror stories, but some of them are hero stories. But some of these places that we go for horses, for like clinics and stuff, look like shit. It looks like it always, like they don't care. I've got horses. I don't need to do anything else to the property. Stuff needs to be pressure washed. Stuff needs to be clean. It never fails. And I told myself when we got this property, now I'm getting on that really, really high horse right now, that I would take care of the property and make sure that it doesn't look good. I want the outside to look very, very neat, very professional. Image is always something. So sometimes when we go to these clinics, like this last clinic with the cow people, I'm driving down like all these shacks or down this long twisted dirt road to get to the people's place in the very backside of the property. The houses that we're going by are like all like dilapidated, and there's like missing windows, and bricks are falling off the wall, and it's just all. And I'm like going, God damn, how can you have horses and expect to treat these horses and stuff when the rest of your property looks like this? You know what I mean? There's a stigma where guys like to look at women's feet. I know it's really weird. I'm going off on a tangent, but I think there was a movie where a guy goes, I got to see your toes. I got to see your toes. And the other guy would go, well, why? Well, if she don't take care of her feet, she's not going to take care of me, or something like that. Or if she don't take care of her feet, the rest of her is not taken care of. If she spends time and money on her nails and spends time and money on her feet, then the rest of her, she takes care of herself. She has pride in herself. That's not the direct movie quote, but you can see where I'm going with that. So when you see places where they have horses and like the shit's falling down, there's like a board that's snapped in half, pick it up, clean it up, do something. Except for the place that we have the horses now. Our show horse, $1 million horse, Diego. He's over at I'm not to drop names or anything, but the radio guy who just retired, it's over at his place, and he takes immaculate care of that place. Everything is nice. Everything's painted the same color. He's got, there's no weeds and shit everywhere. Everything's, maintained. The property, the landscape, everything's maintained. It's a really, really nice place over there. So, but he's got the money to do that. A lot of people don't have the money or don't need or see the importance of keeping your property maintained, clean, picked up, especially if you're having clinics, when you have people coming over. And this last place we went to, I was like going, ugh, that's their house? What is it, abandoned? People live in that house? And it was a nice house. I mean, it was easily a 3,800 square foot house, brick home. All the windows are all dusty and there's cobwebs all over the place. And the owner and the wife and the 2 kids are walking in and out of the house. I go, ooh. And the path to the house was all dirt and stuff. Anyways, get off my high horse. So I had a pity party. And the pity party started. I got time for this? Yeah, I'll dive into it a little bit and then come back and wrap up the show, because it's going to take a little bit for me to get through it. Because it's not tough. I mean, it was kind of I told my wife about it like the next day. I said, I had a pity party yesterday. She's like, why? And I said, well, I came across some stuff and I was kind of upset. So the job that I chose to do this weekend, or this week, we have here, our place is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Immaculate. No, we're getting there. There's some stuff that needs to be done. Like I said, the windows are rotting out in the front, so we're getting someone to replace them instead of just leaving them like that type deal. So part of the project, one of the bedrooms my dad lives in, so that spare bedroom's gone. The second bedroom is when like guests or family or someone comes over, and it's literally like across the hallway from them. And in that room, when my dad moved in, we had all these boxes and Tupperware bins and storage containers and framed pictures of stuff from his house when my mom was alive. So the closet is a very, very small closet, kind of like a pantry. It's probably 5 feet deep by 5 foot wide. And it's packed. And it's got the wire shelving up on top, and the stuff's up on top has gotten so heavy. It's pulled the spikes out of the wall, and everything's just kind of leaning on itself in that closet. But all it is pictures and memorabilia. There's 8mm film in there. There's 16mm film in there. There's albums and albums and albums of photos and framed pictures when my mom used to paint. There's painted pictures that she used to paint, landscape pictures that she used to paint. They're all stored in there. Everything is in that closet. And my wife, as one of the things that we need to do, because we do have friends and family and guests that come over that might need that closet to hang up clothes or something like that, or just to make it more available. So it's not like a junk closet, like the junk houses. And I said, you know what? I can do that. I can pull everything out. My goal, my whole entire goal was to fix the broken wire shelving that was on the top, that wraps around the top, because everything got heavy and it pulled out of the drywall. I was like, well, I can put a board up there and, tie it into a 2x4 and put the wire shelving back on it and then put everything back in that closet. So as I'm pulling these fucking bins out, I'm setting them down and I'm like going to myself, I'm like, oh, what is this doing in here? And there's like we got like shredders, like 2 paper shredders in there. I'm like, do we need 2? All right, I'll set these off to the side, pull out something out, and there's some kind of electrical musical instrument that my wife and her dad used to play with. They don't play with anymore, but it's in there, and it's got like the music book, and she's like, oh, my dad and I used to play with this. I'm like, all right, well, do we need it? I don't know. So I started doing that instead of concentrating on getting the shelving fixed. And I'm pulling all these Tupperware bins out and storage bins and just stacks and stacks of photo albums and actual the carousel for like the slide projector and that physical slide projector and the actual 8mm camera that get like you remember in like elementary school where they and the video, the film strip would always do and hippopotamus is one of the most earth-rending thing, we've got one of those. And I'm pulling all this stuff. I said, God damn, there's so much. I forgot how much shit is in this closet. So I started popping bins and looking inside of them. And that's what got me. I just pulled out a random photo album and started going through it. I'm like, damn it. And it was like, I was like 10. And just looking at the pictures and stuff. And it got to me. It got to me a little bit. Yeah, but I'm gonna stop right now. I'm gonna stop right now. I want to take a little break. And I don't want to get all choked up and all pussified here on the show because I don't want to see the people that I actually like. Hey, good show the other day, and I was like, oh, I don't want them to go, hey, you fucking pussy. So I'm gonna take a little break and try to rework this in my mind. I know we're talking about a pity party, but I'll just give you the context of it. So stick around. I'll be right back. I promise. I swear. So after going through the closet, going through all the bins and seeing, basically what led me to go through the bins is my wife asked me to, kind of gather up all the Christmas decorations. She's like, if you can, break down the whole entire house as far as the Christmas decorations and stuff and, figure out what we can keep and what we don't want to keep, because we've been a blended family as far as like all my mom's decorations and all our decorations and just all this different stuff. So I made, during the week, I made a bunch of bins. I'm like, look, we're never going to use this. We're never going to use this. Let's put this out for a garage sale. Let's put this out for the garage sale. And then this is all the stuff that we use year round. Kind of consolidate it so we don't have to pop 15 bins to find the stuff that we need in the bins for Christmas, for the holiday. Where's the mantle thing? Where's this? Where's that? Now everything is located in like, I think 6 or 7 bins, maybe 8 bins. And I've got 5 or different bins that we're never going to put this out. Garage sale. So I kind of took that mentality when I was going through the bins coming out of that closet in the spare bedroom. And like I said, I opened up the bins and I started looking at old photos. And there's old photos of my dad, and there's old photos of my mom when she was young. And, there's photos of Amy's family. There's photos of her dad, because we have all his memorabilia stuff when he passed away. Those kind of went in that same closet. And I was going through like just stuff in general. There's anyways, I digress. And I was going through all the pictures of myself. And I told my wife the next day, I had a little pity party. When I say pity party, what happens is I put my headphones on and kind of walk through the property and do my chores at night. And it's dark. I mean, it's dark out there. You have to walk. We have street lights further back in the property. So it's dark. I walk through there and I just kind of belt out whatever songs on, that I connect with. And I'm belting it out with arms wide open. That's stupid stuff. And that lasts for about an hour and a half. And then I come back inside. I'm like, phew, I'm good. And then my wife comes home. So I said to her about the pity party, I said, I had, and her response was, well, what's wrong, babe? What's wrong? And I said to her, I said, I'm going through all these pictures of myself as a baby. And I remember every as soon as you look at it, you remember it immediately. If you've ever gone through your past pictures and stuff, you remember immediately what happened that day. If you don't remember what happened that day, like if you're too young, like if there's a photo of you at 3 years old, you remember looking at it with your mom or dad or whatever, and them telling you the story of why you were running around in your underwear with a, bayonet on your head or something. It's just whatever on your head. And you refer that story to whoever, in like cocktail parties. Yeah, when I was 3 years old, I was running around. I had a bayonet stuck in my head, but it was like kind of the Martin Short thing where it looked like an arrow going through my head, but it really wasn't type deal. Not Martin Short, Steve Martin. Sorry, the other guy. And you would tell these stories. You would tell these stories for so long, and then when you come across the actual pictures of the stories that you've been telling for so long, you're like going, yeah, I was telling it right. There was pictures of my Uncle Jim. My Uncle Jim was retarded, and he raised me. That explains a lot. No, when I say he raised me, when my mom and dad got married, she was my mom's half brother, and the family didn't know what to do with him. So my dad took him in. Two reasons why he probably took him in. One, to watch me, because both my parents work. And two, probably just that extra income in the household. So he basically raised me. So, I've told stories to my wife about Uncle Jim, and now that my dad lives with us, and told stories about Uncle Jim and all the stories, and now I'm going through these pictures, and I go, you know what? If I go away, my dad's going to go away. That's a given. When I go away, all those stories stop. All the Uncle Jim stories stop. Because who am I going to tell? Well, I'm gone. But who's going to carry on that conversation, that storytelling again? I don't talk to my family anymore. I don't need to talk to my family anymore. We haven't been a family for a long time. I don't know who you want to point fingers at, but we just haven't been a connected family for a very, very long time. I blame my mom's side of the family. I blame both sides. I mean, it takes 15 to tango, right? As I'm telling my wife this, she goes, you and I decided not to have children. And I said, I know. I'm not blaming. It's not like I'm regretting anything at all. But now that I'm 53 years old, who's going to tell my story? I mean, granted, I've got all this stuff. I've got 12 years of episodes of all the different podcasts and stuff. But who's going to tell the story? Who's going to tell my story? And she's like, I know. I said, your nieces aren't. Because they literally have like no connection. They got their own family. They got their own thing going on. They got all that stuff going on. I don't have any brothers or sisters. I'm an only child. Shocker. My wife doesn't have a brother. He passed away several years ago. It's only her. We don't have any children. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say this is it, but I was kind of like, all the stories everything I've ever told. Truth, lie, exaggerated, whatever, are all in those boxes. And what happens when, who goes first? My wife or me? Probably me. I don't know. But if she goes, and my dad will be gone by then. I'm not going to have any connection to anyone. Her nieces and stuff aren't going to come up here and have Thanksgiving with me. They're not going to celebrate my birthday with me. Talked about my cousin who lost his daughter later last year, right before Christmas. Not hanging out with them. I've got nothing in common with them. And the reverse of that. If I pass away, Amy would be the only one to be able to tell my story. Not that I've got like this interesting story, but just the stupid little things that you talk about over dinner when you're not dinner, but when you go to like families' houses. The reason why we go to New York at least once every other year is to stay connected with those people up there. Amy's side of the family. And they would tell stories about, you remember when, cousin did this and Bobby did this and they're still around. Oh yeah, they're still around, this and stuff. And they would keep the stories going. My story basically stops right here. Right here. Unless I adopt someone. I gotta get on the ball with that. What's the average time frame to adopt someone? 5 years? So 58 years old. All right, Johnny, let me get you caught up. And he's like 17. Oh, Mr. Holmes, I don't want to do this. Shut up, kid. You're carrying on my legacy. But I mean, so I had like a little pity party. I had like an eye-opening moment. I just wanted the stories to be told in my present. When you're gone, you're gone. Who's to say? Who's going to know what happens to these shows? Who knows, when it stops, what's going to happen? This is 60. This is 70. This is 75. This is 82. If I make it that long. 82. And I'm out. So it was just, I just had that it never hit me until I started going through those pictures and looking back and seeing all the stories that I've told about myself and the family and stuff in these pictures and going, okay, who do I share that with now? You, my audience, for now. I had someone I went to high school post something on one of my threads, one of my feeds, one of my stuff. Said something. Here we go. Kind of touched me a little bit. Something to the effect of, I was talking about how many Facebook friends I had and lost and all that stuff, and I'm only got like 200 something. And she said in the post, you might have only 200 some odd social media friends. But she said something to the effect of, I know you've affected You've affected 1,000 people. Not even through high school. Because that's where I know her from. I hope that's true. It's not the first time someone said that to me. But it's hard to hear it. Because you just don't know. when someone tells you, it just makes you realize. I guess. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to me work all this stuff out. I'll talk to you later. Okay. See you. Today it's going to be light. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.